Hi, I'm Michelle Schulp. I am Marktime Media here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And if that wasn't enough alliteration for you, I may or may not have more. But I have my top 5 tips for being successful in WordPress. The first being that it's extremely important if you want to be successful in WordPress to get involved in the WordPress community. What that means nowadays is going to as many events as you can. Digital meetups, virtual WordCamps, online conferences, joining different Slack channels, being present in the community, and hopefully someday being able to meet up in real life again as well. No matter if you're independent or if you work for a company, you're really only as strong as your network. And the wonderful thing about an open source community like WordPress is that there are so many people out there that are here to help. My second tip is don't be afraid to start speaking. You only need to know about 10% more than somebody else to be able to teach them something. And there's so many things out there that people need to learn. We all started somewhere. None of us were born knowing what WordPress is. We all had to learn from someone. And as we go on, there's more and more that we can teach. So get involved. Speak at one of these virtual events. They'd love to have speakers. And when we can meet in person again, speak at your meetups, speak for a company, do lots of different talks. It's really great to get out there. It helps you learn. It helps the people around you learn. Number 3 is it's really important if you want to be a good WordPress developer, if you want to move beyond configuring things and just getting into actual WordPress theme development, to get a very good understanding of the WordPress template hierarchy and the WordPress loop. The WordPress template hierarchy and pretty soon the block hierarchy and a bunch of other things coming down the pipeline there is basically the logic that helps power how WordPress templates work, how they load different pages and posts, and how they determine what your theme looks like. Once I understood that, it made a whole lot more sense how to build a theme. The WordPress loop is the logic that tells WordPress which content to be outputting on any given page. Once I understood how the loop worked, it made it a whole lot easier to be able to write custom queries, to be able to call all sorts of different content on the page and display whatever it was that I wanted to display. Those were the 2 major things that I had to learn to become a WordPress developer. Number 4, if you want to become a developer, you really need to adopt a good local environment. It's a lot easier to do development on your own computer than it is to try to push everything up to a development site or a live site. I personally use Local by Flywheel, but there's several other ones that are out there like ServerPress, MAMP, XAMPP. What all of these things do is give your computer kind of a little environment to actually run the site so that you can do all your development, you can test things, you can see it in your browser without having to actually have an internet connection or overwrite something that exists in live. So if you're going to be a WordPress developer, you need a good local environment. Also, I highly recommend that if you want to do custom WordPress development that's easy for your end clients to use, so the people that are actually going to update the site, you should probably think about some kind of custom field manager or meta box manager. I personally use Advanced Custom Fields because, well, I love it. Their documentation is amazing. They take care of so much complex functionality without having to know a whole lot of extra code. And nowadays, when we're doing block development, I can even write blocks without having to write a whole bunch of JavaScript, which is amazing for me because I come from more of a PHP background. So pick your favorite Metabox or custom field manager, and that'll help take your development skills to the next level. So those are my 5 tips. Thanks so much for listening, and looking forward to seeing you at WordCamp.